guys, I am so excited to be here. Like it has taken me like 10 minutes to figure this thing out. Sorry. I basically, this is like I guess I'm on Zoom, but I am streaming on Facebook, and this is my first time doing it. I tried doing it last time and it didn't work. It was just like a big chaotic thing. So now I have this, I guess I'm going through Zoom and I'm able to do that. So I will be sharing my screen with you so you guys can see my screen here. So I'm gonna start sharing. Embrace your feminine energy to attract love. I wanted to do this for a very long time because this is a topic that I am very passionate about, and I've been shying away from it, but now I really want to embrace it, and I really want to show this to you guys. And the reason why I've been shying away from the topic is because a lot of women, especially very, like women nowadays, we feel like we see, feminine energy maybe not in a good lighting. We don't see it as a we see it as a weakness, and I'm going to go over that as well in here, and I want to change that for you. I want you guys to start embracing it, in order to not only attract love but happiness in your life. I believe feminine energy is key to really achieving that. And so let's get started. Okay, so I want to start with this. There is no such thing as modern dating when it comes to love. Okay. And I say that because what works for a man in a romantic relationship does not work for a woman. So, regardless of us being in the 21st century right now, we still fall in love the same way. So, men are still the hunters, men are still the ones who innately, by nature, they want to be the ones chasing you. And I know that, I've talked to women where they feel like, how come I can't like start the date, or how come I have to be waiting for this man to call me. And it's just, how we're wired differently, right? And so I wanted you to start thinking of like, even though we have like technology and we have all these apps that we connect with each other, and that is changing, when it comes to love and how we fall in love, hasn't changed. It has never changed. It has stayed the same. So keep that in mind as I go through this with you. So, who am I? So, I'm Lylian. I'm a dating coach, and I help single women embrace their feminine energy so that they can attract their dream guy. And the reason why I became a dating coach was because I struggled in my love life for many, many years. I felt like I just couldn't understand what was holding me back. I had everything, right? I thought I was like a catch. I had a good career. I was, young, and I had all these things. And I thought like, how come I can't seem to understand men? I didn't know how to relate to men. And honestly, it was really sad, and I felt really sad and lonely and confused, and it just down, like it was really disappointing, not being able to figure it out. Like I kept asking myself, what is it that I'm doing? And I knew there was something that I was doing wrong, because I couldn't really connect to them in the way that I can connect to my man now. It's very different. And instead of him running away, he's actually coming towards me. He's coming, he's chasing me. He's, cherishing me. He's loving me in the way that I've never felt that from a man. And it was all because of how I was behaving in a relationship. And so it took me years of struggling with this thing to really figure it out. And finally, I figured it out, thanks to books, courses, and really getting coached myself by someone to transform my love life completely. And it hasn't only transformed my love life, it has transformed every area of my life, because everything that I am today has been because of all that work that I've done over the years. And I am so glad I did, because it's sort of like it takes away that pressure that we have, as women. And so, you're going to feel that pressure being removed from you, because that's how I felt. Once I saw how, men relate to women, how we should be relating to men, it's like something just lifted. Something just like I just became so at ease, and it just dating just became such a breeze, and it was so much fun. I had so much fun doing it. And this is why I keep, talking about it, because I know a lot of women say like, oh, it's so difficult, it's such a struggle. And, I feel so disappointed. And I understand that because I was there. But learning all the tools, all the skills, everything that I have learned so far, that's what made it so much fun. That's what, when things became clear for me, that's when dating became so much more fun. And it was just, I had a blast. Honestly, I honestly had a blast in like the last year of me dating, before I met my guy, which is, that's just how it works, right? When you're having fun, when you're enjoying, when you're really embracing that beautiful feminine energy of yours, you attract men, you attract people to you. And so, anyways, that is my story. So that's part of me. And then I wanted to go, now we can go into feminine energy, what it really means. So when I mean by that, that something was lifted off me, is because feminine energy, it is the being energy. In contrast, the masculine energy is the doing energy. So when you are in this being energy, you are, receptive, and you allow experiences and life itself really to fill you up. So it's very completely different from what we have been taught. It's like, we have to do in order to receive love. We have to give in order to receive love. But as feminine women that we are, and I'm talking to women who are looking for that masculine energy man. That's who I'm talking about. So if you are, if you're happy being in your masculine energy and you are with a feminine energy man, or you're looking for that, then that's completely different. But if you're a woman who you are so attracted to that man, that is, he is in his masculine energy, in order to attract a man like that, in order to be cherished by a man like that, you need to be in your feminine energy. And by nature, that's where women normally are. But because of how we have been, sort of programmed in our society of like, we have to do in order to get somewhere. And it works in our careers, it works in our business life, it works in all other areas of our life, but it doesn't work when it comes to your love life. You can't force this. This is why masculine men are so attracted to, feminine energy women, because you have what they basically don't have. So, and a feminine energy is like, it feels, right, it feels the emotion, it expresses the emotions, it just flows, right, without an agenda or destination. It is open to receiving and accepting. But one thing that I want to mention here is like, you are open to it, but you never tolerate. It's not about tolerating someone's behavior. It's about just being open and receptive about it. And, if I'm going to be blunt about it, it's like, he has the penis, you have the vagina, right? So you both are different. And so you both bring different energies together. So if, this is the energy that you need to embrace, you really need to it. And it just feels so good when you do. And in my relationship, I've seen the changes in my guy. When I'm in my feminine energy, he is just the best, most amazing guy ever, because he embraces that and he loves that about me, and he just, comes towards me even more, and he wants to like make me happy. And so, and being in this feminine energy also makes you feel like, it's, you are the chooser, not the chosen one. So, and a lot of women want to be the chooser, right? We all want to be the chooser. We want to choose the guy. We don't want to be the one like waiting for someone to choose us. And so, in order to be the chooser, you have to be able to be open to it and allow the guy to, to show you, to do the work. He is the doer, you're the receiver. So I hope you guys are understanding this. If you're not understanding it, let me know. Ask me questions at the end. I will like look at Facebook here on my phone and then see if you guys have any questions because I can't really see anything here. So so anyway, so this is what feminine energy is not. Okay, so feminine energy is not weakness. You're not weak because you are in your feminine energy. Far from it. You're not, it has nothing to do with how you look. You can be in like a beautiful pink dress and you can still have this masculine energy around you. You can, uh, do your nails, do your makeup, do like you can look however you want to, but your energy is completely different. So those are two different things. So don't ever mistake because I look this way, I should be feminine. No, it's completely different. And a man can really feel that. A man can really feel that energy. And it has nothing to do with your looks. And being in your feminine energy when it comes to relating to a man, it doesn't make you anything less than. Because how you relate to a man in your feminine energy, you are basically, like I said, you are the chooser. You're the one who decides. You're the one who decides to allow or not allow. You're the one who you're open to it. There's this flow to you, this beautiful energy around you, that if something doesn't feel good, just move away from it. Right, you just move away from it. You don't tolerate that. And it doesn't make you a victim of anything. He's not, a guy's not going to feel like he's, above you in any way just by you being in your feminine energy. He's going to want to protect you. He's going to want to cherish you when you are in your feminine energy. So I wanted to talk about with you guys about, like, how to become that magnet for love and happiness. And this goes back to, I guess, being in your feminine energy, right? And so really becoming this magnet of love and happiness comes from just being, when you're just present, you have this softness in you, you're vulnerable, that energy, that masculine energy men crave, right? It's like, you're honey to them. You're honey to bees. They want to be around you when you are just being, when you're just present. And this is a big one when you go on dates, right? Just being present, just allowing him to, be there with you, just allowing the moment, just really enjoying and embracing the moment. That's what it is. And so when you're with a man, you being present, you being soft and vulnerable is what connects them, because you're connecting to his emotions. A lot of us, what we do is, like, we want to connect with men, with our brain, with our mind. We want to be these, like, we want to be shown as these intellectual people, and that's not a bad thing. But that only, the way to connect there, it would be just maybe you will find a business partner with someone like that. But if you want to connect to a man, to like his heart, is by your emotions. You connect your emotions to his emotions. So it's by being there, being present, being soft, being vulnerable. And by soft, I mean being soft from the outside, being warm and welcoming, but strong in the inside. So that's what I mean when you don't tolerate stuff, right? When you don't tolerate bad behavior, when you become the chooser, that's because you are so loved, you feel so worthy, you are so, there's unconditional love inside. So the outside is the soft, the beautiful energy that you radiate, basically. But the inside is, your core. And so you have to be able to, and I think that's when you marry, self-love with feminine energy. You marry that loving yourself unconditionally, and being able to express your feminine energy, being able to just be in your feminine energy on the outside. So I guess that would be like a way of explaining it, of like, self-love within, right? And that is the strength, that is your, that is, what's inside. And then feminine energy, you radiate feminine energy. So next is, I wanted to talk about surrender, because this is not I find like a lot of people find this word to be like, okay, well, I give up and surrender. No, it's not. Surrender is just, you get away from like needing to control. Don't, get away from trying to lead or trying to manipulate any event that you're in, the outcome of a relationship, or the man that you're with, because that's basically you being in your masculine energy. So this is how surrendering really is how you connect with his heart. You inspire his feelings for you and generate his overwhelming desire to get to and keep you, right, forever. So this is where he feels like the man that he is. That's when you get to inspire your man, right? When you surrender, when you give him the lead, when you leave him to take control over that relationship, when you are not trying to manipulate, you're not trying to do anything. And this, I mean, like, you're not, when you're dating someone and they haven't like maybe called you in a few days, you're not sending emojis to see if you get a response, or you're not like, stalking him on Facebook, or you just surrender. You let it go. You focus on yourself and your well-being and your happiness. While all this is happening, while, he is just, I've said it many times, he is just a cherry on your cake, right? So being able to just surrender to what it is and allow him to show you, and allow him to show you with his actions, not his words, his actions. And the last thing is to lean back. And this is so, I love this, because it's just like you relax in the present moment. You just get to enjoy it, enjoy the ride, enjoy the process of dating. And that is why it became such a, I just loved the dating part of my life. I loved it so much, because this is what I did. I just became very present in my, my dates. I went on a lot of dates and I just had a lot of fun, because I was just there, and I just allow the moment to go. And I allow that, I really enjoy the present moment with whoever I was with. Not just surrender to whatever it was going to lead to. I didn't have any sort of expectations. I just allowed these men to show me with their actions. And the funny thing about this is that I actually had when I started dating Mark, I was going on all these dates, and I did meet somebody who was also like, seemed like a potential something like more serious. But I played it cool, in the sense of like, I wasn't like trying to lead any relationship on. I was just allowing the man to show me who was going to be the one that I was going to give my heart to. I wasn't going to go and chase anybody. I wasn't going to like try, like, even though I really liked my guy, my boyfriend now, I wasn't gonna chase him. I was just gonna let him, show me. And he did, and he showed me that. And that's why I'm with him. So anyway, so that's a little bit of a backstory there. Okay, so here you go. So here are some mistakes that we make. And I've made all of these, and I'm sure you may be doing them. And I wanna bring this to your attention, you see, because we go on dates, or we meet somebody that we really like, and we want to please him, and we want to win him over, and we take this like, okay, I'm gonna get him, I am going to, in this like very masculine energy again. So you become the doer, you become the one who, you over invest in the relationship. You're the one moving the relationship forward, because you can see that he may not be, not doing anything. And you're like, okay, we need to move forward. And then, it becomes a one-sided relationship. And then you become, you know, like this woman crying that shit happens, and you're like, what went wrong? I did everything right. I tried, you know, I tried so hard. I gave him everything. I gave him my heart. Like I, you know, I, and that is because you over invested in a relationship. That is because you were the one moving the relationship forward. You didn't allow him to do that for you. You know, you take control over the dating process, and then you don't allow him to lead the relationship. And you're always in that this like action mode, this masculine energy mode. And you know, you can't try to talk a man into commitment. So like I was saying, it's not about you talking to him and, you know, being equal minded or whatever. It's more of you connecting with him emotionally. That's how you're able to get to his heart, is by emotions, not by talking to him. You can have a very, you know, intellectual conversation with him, and you know, that's it. You're not going to connect with him that way. You're not going to connect with him at that level. So these mistakes, I've made them all. I've, you know, I've chased. I've, you know, when I didn't get a phone call, I would call, right? Or I would send a text message to see, you know, that you know, how's it going? How are you? Or, you know, the innocent, like, oh, look, what I'm having fun. And, you know, so what you're doing there, basically, you're not giving him anything to, you know, you're not allowing him to chase you. You're not allowing a bit of mystery there, right? To see what, you know, for him to be guessing it. What is she doing? Thinking of you. Like what is she doing now? Like what's, you know, what's going on in her life? Or you're not allowing that space. And so, you know, men by nature, they're the ones who want to be chasing you, not the other way around. And you know, I feel like we don't believe that we're like, you know, the goddess. We're not worthy of a man's attention. And we say it. We say that we are. We say that we're such a catch. We say all these things, but I don't believe it, because our behavior shows otherwise, right? We behave differently. We say we're, you know, we're the goddess, we're this, we're that, but then we start chasing. We start, you know, um, over over investing in a relationship. And so I made that mistake many times, and it got me nowhere. You know, chasing a man is not going to get you anywhere, especially a masculine energy man is not going to go for that. So, and masculine energy man, that's what they want. They want someone, a woman who is very in her feminine, who knows how to be in her feminine energy. And they are, you know, that's what they're looking for. And nowadays, you know, we think that because we're so modern that we're going to go chase after them, that we should be, you know, we are entitled to you know, go chasing after what we want. And yes, we are for everything else. When it comes to love, it doesn't work that way. Men are not wired that way, and we are not wired that way either, because it really sucks for us when we have to put so much effort into a relationship, when we're the ones who are like the doers. It's just so draining, it's frustrating, and it's disappointing. And that's why we're so disappointed. That's why I see so many women that are, you know, so disappointing in their dating life and their love life, because they're doing things backwards. And, you know, I did it for many years and it got me nowhere. Not until I embraced my feminine energy and I really, you know, really just leaned back and enjoy the process. That's when things started changing for me. So I want to give you 3 ways to lean into your feminine energy. So the first one is, let the man lead in a relationship, right? Allow him to take the lead, initiate, right? Call you. So allow him to be the man. So by nature, the male is the doer. And I watched this documentary the other day, and it was all about birds and it was kind of cute. And it was the male who was doing all the work. It's the male who was doing the little dance. It was the male who was trying to, like, you know, be like the peacock and, like, you know, grab the attention. It was the male who was doing all of it. So by nature, that's just how it is. Okay, so number 2, receive with joy. I feel like we don't allow our men to really give us compliments, right? When he says, "Oh, you look so beautiful today," the first thing you say is like, "Oh, yeah, well, I feel a little bit, fat on this outfit," or like, I just, or if he says like, "Oh, I love the way you did your hair today," you are like, "Oh, really?" Like, "Oh, I'm not too crazy about it," instead of just saying thank you for that. Allow him to give you compliments, allow him to drive to you, instead of like meeting halfway on a date. Allow him to come to you, even if he's driving for 2 hours. Just be happy receiving what he's giving you. And the last thing, the last way, there's many ways, by the way, but these are just three, is actively listening to him. So on a date or when you are with him at any moment, you don't need to perform, you don't need to entertain on a date. Allow him to impress you and just listen. I feel like we go on these dates and we want to impress the guy, especially if we like them, right? We want to impress them, and we want to be the ones entertaining them, and we want to be the ones, just showing how much we have achieved. So a man is not looking for that. He's not looking for a business partner. He's not looking for a friend, right? This man is looking for a woman who is able to be in her feminine energy. And actively listening is, one of the best gifts that you can give him. And even if you are, once you do end up like being in a relationship, actively listening to him is going to be the best gift you can give him. It just allows him like the safe space, be able to express himself, be able to share his feelings with you, because he has nowhere else, right? He has no one else that he can share those things with. And if he finds a woman that he can do that with, he's going to cherish you. And that is exactly what I have. And I am just so in love with this guy. And it just feels so different. And it's all because I've been able to lean into my feminine energy. So I believe that is here. Okay, so I think that is it. I want to leave you with that. I don't know if I'm gonna leave this for 24 hours for you guys, so you guys can check it out for the next 24 hours, and I'm gonna take it down by tomorrow at 8 p.m. But I hope you guys enjoy this. And if you have any questions to do with your feminine energy and how to really embrace it, these are just, the very like, I'm not going deep here at all with this. But I wanted to give you just a taster of what, you know, what this is all about, what feminine energy is about. And I wanted to give you a little bit of understanding of what is going, why some of these interactions that you're having with men, why are it, how you relate to men, has become a challenge for you. And so in my coaching, we obviously go much, much deeper into this, and we go into more into your, what's really holding you back, the limiting beliefs, and so much more. So this is just like a little taster for you, but I hope you guys enjoyed and you learned something from this. And thank you so much. And I'm gonna start sharing here, and I think that is the end. Okay, love you so much. Bye.